Today we begin with the first thinker in paper 1. Very important guy. Like not in our lives per se, but from the UPSC exam point of view. Emile Durkheim. This guy is one of the founding fathers of sociology, of modern sociology. Also one of the 6 thinkers mentioned in our paper 1 syllabus. This is around the time period during which he lived. So Durkheim, friends, is one of the early sociologists, and from France, absolutely. So he's a French fellow, and this is his time period. A very brief biographical background about the guy, okay, a bit of his life history. He was born to which religion? Any guesses? Of course, not Christianity. Jews. So he was Jewish. Jews, you know, Israel में आजकल जो हैं, right? Jews are the followers of Judaism. Right? It's a pre-Christian religion, or it is the religion from which Christianity has emerged. So it's a very old religion. Numerically, Jews aren't too many, right? Small population, and Israel is a Jewish nation state. In any case, so he was a Jew based on his parentage. In fact, his family was very religious. Why I'm giving you this background? Because one's background affects one's writings. One of the topics he wrote on, and which is in our syllabus, which we'll discuss today, is his views on religion and society. So he came from a very religious family background. In fact, his father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, Pita, Dada, Pardada, Sab, they were rabbis. Rabbis are Jewish priests. Pandit, unke pitaji, dadaji, pardadaji. And his initial education was also in a rabbinical school, or it was like a Vedshala. The Indian equivalent would be a Vedshala, okay, where you get religious instruction. The priestly class get religious instruction. That is where he was initially taught. Though he came from a very religious background, his own outlook was very secular, was very scientific. Came from a very religious background, but personally was very scientific and secular in outlook. And why is that? And just to be sure, friends, you will not ever get a question on his biographical sketch. Okay, but it helps us to understand the guy. That's why I am sharing, to get a sense of the guy. So, why was he so secular and scientific in his outlook? Because of his education as he grew up. As he grew up, he got a degree in, any guesses? No? Sociology. Bitya, he established the first department of sociology in Europe. He is one of the founders of sociology. तो पढ़ते कैसे? इन्होंने तो बनाया है सब्जेक्ट को. Philosophy. He had an academic background in philosophy. ठीक है? And he got his education at this college by the name of ENS. ENS or École Normale Supérieure. Okay, that's all the French I can muster. This was a college established during the Enlightenment period to propagate Enlightenment values, which included rationality, science. Okay, so because of his education at this college, he was very secular and scientific in his outlook, though he came from a very religious background. all of this is somewhere reflected in his writings, friends. Because of his scientific bent, he championed the application of the scientific method to study society. Because of his religious background, he understood very intimately the importance of religion in society. Both these things are therefore reflected in his later writings. ठीक? At some point of time he became an advisor to the education minister in France. Point is to tell you कि बड़ा आदमी था, right? So, and of course, as you may very well know, he is credited with having established the first department of sociology in Europe in the year, wonderful, 1895. He also started a journal of sociology. Journal is like a academic compilation, okay, of papers or research, named L'An sociologique. I'll write better, that will be better. No, this does not work. Wonderful. ठीक है भैया, धन्यवाद. Where was I? Journal of Sociology, named L'An sociologique. ठीक, this he began in about 1898. धन्यवाद भैया. So this is a brief about the guy. Now in our UPSC Sociology syllabus there are 4 topics mentioned under Durkheim, covering all his major works, namely religion and society, ये पूरी स्क्रीन कैसे क्लियर होती है? ठीक है, ठीक है. Religion and society, second, division of labor in society, third, social facts, and fourth, suicide. Mohammed is asking, will we not do research? We will. There's a topic on sociological research in our syllabus after emergence and all. We'll do it later. We'll definitely do it, but later. Okay, these are the 4 topics. Also, during the First World War, Durkheim lost his son, who was enlisted in the French army, which in Durkheim's theory of suicide is considered a form of suicide. A soldier's death in Durkheim's theory is considered a type of suicide. So ironically, his own son died of suicide, and grief-stricken Emile Durkheim also passed away. ठीक? हाँ. So ये इनकी जीवन शैली है. Beginning today with the first of these topics, namely Durkheim's views on religion and society. religion and society. ठीक? Forget Durkheim for a bit. Okay? As a layman, what do you understand by religion? How many of you are religious? Please raise your hands. Great, yeah, like almost everybody. How many of you are not, decidedly not religious? ये सब अनपढ़ लोग जो इन अंधविश्वास में वो करते हैं. How many of you are decidedly not religious? Please raise your hands. Two, three people, huh? 2.5. How many of you are like borderline and not too sure where you stand, which is perfectly all right at your age and mine? Quite a few amongst us. ठीक है. So to the religious amongst us, which is the majority, what do you understand by religion in layman terms? Dare you throw a sociological definition at me? I will do that to you. But you tell me in layman terms, what do you understand by religion? Or what do you mean? When you say you are religious, what do you mean? Raise your hands and speak, please, when I come to you. Please raise your hands. Bitya. But you were borderline.
No, sir, that time I was doing this.
Oh. Okay. Ha, tell me. She was displaying her religiosity with actions. Ha.
Sir, I believe that having a faith in a divine or spiritual God or something like, I personally don't believe in many gods, but there's a Devi in my village whom I pray a lot, and I believe that somewhere she has an existence.
So you believe in the existence of a Gram Devi or a village deity? What's your academic background, if I may ask?
Sir, I have graduated in law.
Law. So, having received modern education, don't you think it's like Andhvishwas? It's like blind faith. Have you ever seen the Devi, or why do you believe in the Devi? Does it appeal to your rational, scientific, modern mind and your training as a,
Sir, there have been times when I have faced problems, but I have like prayed a lot, and somewhere I have
prayer helped you?
Yeah.
And that reinforced your belief in the supernatural, if I may call it that. Great. Any other explanation of religion? Any, or why do you consider, what is religion now? At a basic level, fundamental level. For her, it is worshipping the Gram Devta or the Gram Devti. Brother?
Believe in some system which cannot be proved.
Believing in something which cannot be proved. So you're saying it's basically, essentially blind faith. Religion is, and are you religious? Wow. So he's proudly proclaiming, I am Andhvishwasi, but I don't know better. And that's a very honest, intellectually honest admission. ठीक है, और बताइए. That's too generic, with due respect, bete. He's saying it is principles which are subscribed to by a large group. It could be a political ideology. I subscribe to the Congress view or the BJP ideology, Hindutva. Will you call that religion? Or the communist ideology? So any view which is subscribed to by a large number of people, that does not do justice.
So following a particular religion, having
what is that religion?
a particular faith in something which is having a set of norms and rules to be followed, and having a you will feel you will have
कॉलेज और स्कूल में भी तो रूल्स होते हैं.
Sir, I am continuing now.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you short. हाँ.
Sir, you will find initially and connectively the ethics मतलब जो आपका moral और ethics derive कर सकते हो उससे, and you will feel a sacred presence.
So, okay, so you are saying religion is a source of ethics, morality, or it gives you a sense of right and wrong.
Sense of right and wrong, and obviously a sense of sacred presence.
And a sense of sacred presence. Brother,
Basically, religion is a social institution which binds
don't do that.
person with same beliefs and customs.
Okay, it's something that binds people who share a similar set of beliefs and customs. Okay. When you think of religion, what's the first word, first thing which comes to your mind? God. क्यों नहीं बोल रहे फिर? किसी ने नहीं बोला कि religion is simply a belief in God. That is the typical, and one could always argue correct understanding of what religion is. For the bulk of us, bulk of humanity, religion is simply a belief in God and whatever stories and mythologies and rituals that we weave around this concept of God. And what is God? What is God? किसी बच्चे को समझाना है, 7-year-old kid, somebody in 5th standard, भगवान क्या है? What is God? How will you explain it to him? Brother? One could always argue, so is Modi ji. I'm not saying but superior being, or can we do better than that? Close to that, but better than that. Perhaps a supernatural, superhuman being, not Modi ji. है ना? हाँ, yes, you. So God is the creator, He is the sustainer, He is the destroyer. ठीक है. So, Durkheim, when he began his investigation of religion, he approached it scientifically. Interestingly, his notion of religion does not have a concept of God. It does not have a concept of God. The book in which he has outlined his views on religion is titled, and please note down the name of the book. What do you do with this knowledge? You show it off. Knowledge till it remains with you is of not much value. Only when it is conveyed to the examiner in writing, in your answers, will it fetch you marks. The elementary forms of, the name of his book is The Elementary Forms of Religious Life. The Elementary Forms of Religious Life. That's the title of the book. So when you are writing an answer on Durkheim's views on religion, you insert the name of the book. You say Durkheim in his work, The Elementary Forms of Religious Life, blah blah blah. Blah blah, what we will discuss. Right? Use it. The Elementary Forms of Religious Life. That's the title of his book. This was his last major work, written in about 1912. Year is not important. Don't burden yourself with trying to remember these, because things will pile up and there are more important data or facts that you will need to remember. But this was one of his last major works. How he defines religion? Please write. Religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices. Religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. Related to sacred things. Secret nahi, scared bhi nahi, sacred. ठीक? SACRED, sacred things. Leave some space. Arey? How did I write that? भैया इसको नॉर्मल कैसे करें? Which one do you prefer, by the way? Handwritten. Thank you. I really take that as a compliment. So, sacred things. Okay. Now leave some space. 3-4 line definition it is. We will take it part by part rather than giving it to you all at one go. So, his definition or understanding of religion is centered around the notion of sacred. Okay, and this is very, very important in his theory of religion, in his understanding, analysis of religion. He says that in every society, its members divide the world into two categories. Of sacred and profane. Sacred and profane. leave some space for the definition which we have not written in full as yet. In every society, its members divide their world into two categories of sacred and profane. Theek? What do you understand by the word sacred? You tell me, it's a normal English word. Forget sociology, forget Durkheim. What is sacred? Pavitra, pure, clever, related to God, he is saying. Cannot be questioned. Which can be worshipped. What is the Hindi word for sacred that comes to mind? Then Pujniya, Pavitra or Shuddha desi ghee. Shuddha is more like pure. Sacred is like Pavitra. Pavitra would be a correct translation or a near correct translation. Interestingly, how Durkheim defines the sacred. He says, sacred things are those, likho na. Sacred things are those, nahi khali space mein nahi, wo khali rahegi. We'll come back to the khali space where we are writing the definition later. Sacred things are those which are set apart and forbidden. Sacred things are those which are set apart and forbidden. I'll explain. Profane things are those, full stop dal ke, profane things are those very, should I say, unsatisfactory definition. Profane things are those which are not sacred. Profane things are those which are not sacred. Theek? Meaning what, friends? In our social world, everything that we see around us, we either classify it as sacred or profane. When we say it is set apart and forbidden, meaning it is something very special, something which cannot be touched with impunity, something that cannot be approached casually. There are detailed rules and regulations governing who? The sacred. Profane, on the other hand, I'll dictate. Profane, on the other hand, friends, is the day-to-day ordinary things that are not considered as very special. There are no detailed rules and regulations governing the profane. Are you with me? So all things, beings, phenomena, entities are classified either as sacred or as profane. For example, say in Hindu society, since bulk of us are Hindus, the cow is sacred. The donkey, profane. Are you with me? Tulsi leaf is sacred. And eucalyptus tree, profane. Ganga jal, sacred. Nalka jal, tap water, profane. Are you with me? Inside your houses, you have numerous rooms. Is there any place which is considered as sacred? Where? Which? The puja room. The temple within your house is considered as sacred. And the bedroom? Profane. So when you interact with the sacred, you don't do it casually. For example, when you go back home tired, and you enter your bedroom, do you follow a very strict protocol? No. You simply go there, you take off your shoes, throw them here and about, then throw your socks and other whatever you want to, and you simply lie down on the bed, half naked, or in all, full glory, without a care in the world. Right? Because there is no interdictions, prohibitions, restrictions governing your interaction with the profane, everyday bedroom. Can you do that in the temple? inside your home? Can you enter your temple whichever way you like? What will you do? Yes, you will take off your footwear outside the temple premises and then you will enter. Essay you will enter and lie about like you do in the bedroom. Then you will enter with folded hands and then you will touch the floor and then you will do whatever is in a very prim and proper kind of a manner. So it is what? It is a room which is set apart and forbidden. Are you with me? Clear? जो profane है, that is ordinary, mundane, nothing special. Are you with me? Give a subheading. The relationship between sacred and profane. And write. I'll keep explaining and dictating साथ. The heading is the relationship between sacred and profane. The sacred is always separated and set apart from all other objects. Full stop. Detailed rules and regulations and social practices are laid down. Detailing how the sacred is to be approached. Full stop. According to Durkheim, the sacred is protected and isolated through strong prohibitions and taboos. Taboos mean simply very strict kind of prohibitions that a religion entails, right? For example, wearing your slipper inside the temple, it is a taboo. You cannot do that. It's simply not done in Hindu Samaj, right? Full stop. So everything, friends, everything in our world we consider or we classify it either as sacred or as profane. What makes a thing sacred, friends? We'll write again when we come to it, but you tell me now. Rack your brains and tell me. Why is it that something is sacred and another thing is not? Why is it that the cow, since we are talking about Hinduism, in Hindu Samaj is sacred while the donkey is not? What makes something sacred? Please raise your hands and speak, brother.
Because it is related to religious practices.
Why? Why is it the cow and not the donkey? Value as in?
As an economic value.
It has economic value. So people are benefiting economically You are saying it in an agrarian economy which was there in India, the cow had immense economic value or utility for man. Doodh deti thi, gobar and this and that is what explains its sacredness. Yes, same economic utility, brother.
Mention in scriptures.
Mention in scriptures. Bitya? These are society made values and beliefs. She's got a point there. In fact, Durkheim states categorically, likho, it is not the utility. It is not the utility of a thing which makes it sacred. So this logic that cow is sacred because it gives milk or is important economically is not the right logic. Please appreciate. It is not the utility of a thing which makes it sacred. Full stop. Anything can be sacred. Kuch aao. Write down, anything can be sacred. Dash. A stone. A pebble. मतलब और भी छोटा सा. A color. So for Hindus, Bhagava is sacred. Green is not. For Hindus, when stones are placed in the formation of a shivling, they are sacred. But in another way, they are not. क्या क्या लिखा है? Stone, pebble, a color, comma, a plant, an animal, a river, a mountain, a symbol. So in Hindus, and of course these are society or culture specific. So Hindus mein Satya is sacred, but the cross is not. In the Christian world, the cross is sacred, the Satya is not. ठीक है? Satya क्या होता है? Swastik. Is that such a rare word? Hindus? Satya, you don't understand? Okay. That's a revelation. Swastik. ओम. Guys, आज religion पढ़ा रहा हूँ, आज ही chanting रह गई. पाप हो गया. Seriously. Nervousness से यही होता है. New place. जानबूझ क्या? बता देते. पाप हो गया collective. ठीक है. हाँ. Sorry? We'll take it up like maybe at a more opportune moment, perhaps after the break. नहीं. Durkheim ने Hinduism नहीं study किया था. He did not study Hinduism. The reason I am giving Hindu examples is because they are more, we can connect with them more easily. We are primarily a Hindu audience. Okay? He did not study Hinduism, to be sure. I will discuss which religion he studied in just a while. These examples are not Durkheim's, but we can use them while writing answers. We can definitely use them while writing answers. It can be ideas also. Point is, anything can be sacred, right? It is not the utility. What makes something sacred? Simply an agreement amongst the members of the society. So it's, buffalo gives as much milk as does the cow. But the Hindus do not consider the buffalo as sacred the way they consider cow to be sacred. Please appreciate, friends, it's not about utility. Oftentimes, profane things may be of much greater utility than the sacred. Profane things may be often they are. For example, I am wearing this thread. Many of us are. This is the sacred thread. क्या बोलते हो आप लोग इसको? धागा. Anything better than धागा we can do? रक्षा सूत्र, मोली, कलावा. ठीक है. So this that Hindus wear. इसकी यूटिलिटी ज्यादा है या शर्ट की यूटिलिटी ज्यादा है? यूटिलिटी वाइज, प्योरली यूटिलिटी वाइज, shirt is clearly, it helps me cover my whole body. This covers this very useless wrist which need not be covered, right, which I can have uncovered also. Utility wise क्या ज़्यादा है? Internet in today's day and age is very useful, of very high utility, but do we consider it sacred? No, we don't. Ved Puran, of perhaps very little utility, but we consider it sacred. ठीक? So it is not about the utility. It is not about the utility. ठीक है? लिखिए next. The sacred is not superior to the profane. In terms of its utility. Full stop. But the sacred is infinitely superior to profane. The sacred is infinitely superior to profane in terms of what? क्या है इस लाल धागे में जो लाल शर्ट में नहीं है? In terms of power and dignity. I repeat, the sacred is infinitely superior to the profane in terms of power and dignity. Full stop. Now, whether a thing is sacred or profane, is it forever? Is it some intrinsic quality of an object? I'm asking you, which makes it sacred? It seems you've not understood the question. Yeah? Say it now then. Yeah? How will I? Don't make me read your minds. What I'm asking you is it something about an object which always makes it sacred? Or, let me rephrase it, can the same object be considered as sacred sometimes and profane at other times? Or once a sacred, always sacred, and once profane, always profane? Socho, think about your own religion, your religious beliefs and practices, and tell me, look within. Is it forever? Ki sacred is sacred and profane is profane? Or not? Always? Let us say we go to Aggarwal Sweets and buy a packet of laddus. That is what? Sacred or profane? Profane. So आधा खाया आधा गिराया, right? It's perfectly acceptable. No detailed rules and regulations. थोड़ा डॉगी को दे दिया, थोड़ा फेंक दिया, थोड़ा खाओ थोड़ा फेंको, rich feel करो, anything you can do. Now the same packet of laddus, before opening you take it to the temple. Then it becomes what? Sacred. When it's no more sweets, it's become prasad when it is offered to the deity. So it is not the intrinsic quality of that object that bhaiya laddu hai to sacred hai ya laddu hai to profane hai. It is the context which makes it sacred or profane. So things can make a transition from the world of the profane to the world of the sacred. Clear? Can it also happen vice versa? Can something which is sacred become profane? That sounds like sacrilege, pap. Or tell me, can the sacred also become profane? Kaise?
So just like cow is sacred for Hindus. But
No, that's another. If you're talking about, say, Muslims, that it's not. That's another samaj. Which we are talking about a particular society. Within a society, can something which is considered as sacred become non-sacred or profane? For example, yes it can. Yes it can. For example, during Ganpati Puja, right? That idol of Ganpati is sacred or profane? Sacred. But when it is immersed after Visarjan, when it is immersed in the local water bodies, then it becomes profane. It becomes whatever plaster of Paris and colors, etc., which is regarded as profane. Are you with me? So things are not permanently or because of some intrinsic quality as sacred or profane. Something which is sacred in one context may be considered as profane in some another. So Ganga Jal in your and my houses is sacred. So we have it set apart and forbidden in that white, yes or no, container, whatever it is called. And we use it very sparingly and do this and this. But somebody who is living in a city on the banks of the river Ganga, and the Ganga water is the source of your tap supply, for them it may be profane. Are you with me? तो लिखिए, according to Durkheim, objects may make a passage. Objects may make a passage from the sacred to the profane. And from profane to sacred. By performance of rituals. ठीक? सो वो लड्डू प्रसाद कैसे बनता है? कैसे बनता है पंडित जी? लड्डू प्रसाद कैसे बनता है? भोग लगा के, है ना? So it's not just that you are carrying a sweets ka dabba and it turns into prasad. Something is to be done. What Pandit ji knows best, right? After that, after which it is transformed from the ordinary or profane laddu into prasad. ठीक? Now, moving on. So, the point is, friends, this notion of sacred is very central to his understanding, Durkheim's understanding of religion. We've understood what sacred is. Simply, it is things set apart and forbidden, right? Coming back to his definition. Come back. What have we written? Bitya.
Religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things.
Wonderful. Religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. This is what we have written. Okay. So the profane is not a part of religion. It is the religion is what we do, the things that we do or practices, various rituals we perform, and the beliefs. So what we think and what we do related to sacred things. So the Hindu thoughts on cow, Moli, Tika, Bhagwa, Shivji, Shivling, and so on and so forth. They are what Hinduism is. Simply. Clear? Abhi tak humne, or till now we have discussed till here. Why is it say unified system of beliefs and practices? Unified in the sense there is some harmony, coherence between the beliefs and practices. In the sense it's not that I consider the cow very sacred and the next day I am kicking it or disrespecting it. So what I am doing and what I am thinking, it is unified or coherent. Clear? There is consistency. unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. So religion is not about the profane things, be it internet, be it chair, table, this or that. It is about the sacred things. Okay.